Everybody ready?
Yep.
All right. Good morning. I'm Sergeant Highfield of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit. I'm here to update you on an incident we're currently investigating. This morning around 3:20 a.m. officers responded to the 8,000 block of Arlington Expressway in reference to a person stabbed. Upon arrival, officers located an adult male with stab wounds to his leg. JFRD responded and transported that individual to a local hospital. Officers then located an adult female inside of an apartment with multiple stab wounds, and JFRD responded and she was pronounced deceased inside the apartment. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office homicide detectives and crime scene detectives responded to conduct the investigation. We are continuing our investigation and cooperating with our partners at the State Attorney's Office and the Medical Examiner's Office. The circumstances leading up to this are unknown at this time, but it appears to be an isolated domestic violence incident, and there's no other danger to the public. We're asking anybody with any information about the incident to call the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office at 904-630-0500 or through email at JSO crimetips@jacksheriff.org or through Crime Stoppers at 866-845-TIPS. I'll take any questions you might have now.
So, just to clarify, the man who was stabbed in the leg, he was sent to the hospital. What's his condition? Stable, critical?
It's stable at this point. He was critical when he initially arrived, but they stabilized him.
Do we know any of the ages or around how old the victim is?
The ages that I'm aware of are around the 30-year range. One I think is a little older than 30, but right around the 30-year range.
So I know you said this was domestic violence. Does it seem like the two who were stabbed were not also the suspects? In other words, there's a third person at large?
No. We believe it's an isolated incident between the two individuals, the one that was transported earlier and the one that was found deceased. So there's no outstanding suspects at this time.
Is it clear at this point which one was the aggressor?
Based on the information we have at this point, it's probably going to be the male, but we want to reserve comment until we know for certain after we interview all the witnesses.
So there were witnesses?
There was one witness that was inside the apartment that heard the majority of it. There's a little bit of a language barrier, so they're being interviewed downtown right now, and we'll have the further details on that later, what she actually saw and or heard.
So she's cooperating with
But she is cooperating, yes ma'am.
Do you know the address or name of the apartment complex?
It's the one at 8,000 right here, this first one down the way. I can't remember the name of it.
And can you give a description of the woman that was found deceased?
Yeah, she was like I said, around 30-year-old Hispanic female.
No 911 calls were made?
There were 911 calls that were made, and that's why we responded in reference to a person being stabbed.
By a neighbor or somebody who found the man on the street?
It was actually a neighbor got a call from the witness that was inside the location, called the neighbor came over and was able to locate the male up front of the complex, and then later he led officers to the other apartment where the victim was found.
So the witness who was a neighbor called another neighbor who then called 911?
No, the witness that was inside the apartment.
Gotcha.
The witness that was inside the apartment, who was behind a locked door when all this was going on, called a neighbor. That neighbor came over, and that neighbor's the one that called 911, and also flagged officers down when they arrived.
And he was just out in front of the apartment complex?
Yes, sir.
Not further down?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Any other questions?
And I know you mentioned it's
I'm sorry?
I know you mentioned it's a domestic violence.
Yes.
As far as do we know the relationship between?
Yeah, they were partners. I don't know if they're legally married or what the relationship is, but they were together. They were living in that apartment as a couple.
Are they the only ones living in that apartment?
No, the other witness that was in the other bedroom that was locked behind the door was also there.
So again, I know obviously you said there's still final determinations to be
Right.
made, but based on indications now, I know you said it appears the male was the aggressor. Does that maybe indicate the male's stab wounds were self-defense from the female?
I don't think so. Based on my experience, he might have self-inflicted those wounds on himself while he was in the act of stabbing. But again, until we get our reports back from the medical examiner's office and all the information is gathered together, I can't speak specifically to that.
And do we know the relationship between the witness and the two victims?
Other than being a roommate, I don't know the relationship there. Is that it? All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.